Great pleasure and honor on behalf of the National Leadership Institute to welcome you to Nali. Your Excellency, when we host you at this institute, we remember it as a home of the resistance.
Answering the citizens' call, improved service delivery for socio-economic transformation. This theme speaks directly to the heart of our mandate as public servants and the urgent need to address the expectations of our citizens. It underscores the critical role of service delivery in driving socio-economic transformation. The citizens of Uganda have voiced their needs and aspirations, and it is our duty to respond effectively and efficiently.
However, now that all of us are here, we need to come up with strategies to stop illegal charges in government schools, which have led to absenteeism and high dropout rate, as has always been highlighted by you, Your Excellency. Underwater and environment, I have been informed, Your Excellency, that the safe water coverage now stands at 65% in rural areas and 70% in urban areas, save for Karamoja sub-region. We still have a problem of environmental degradation, Your Excellency, and we have to come up with strategies in this retreat on how to save our ecosystem and environment.
The first one, Your Excellency, is that much as our economy has grown to $55 billion, a big chunk of that money goes to service external debt. I would like to challenge the PSS to demonstrate to Ugandans that that money that we borrowed in order to implement some very important projects which trigger growth and development really did what the money was borrowed for. A conversation between us and the members of the public in that direction, in my thinking, is required because it is now public knowledge that we are not able to apportion money to some very stressing areas which are urgent, because much of it is going to service the public debt. It is very important that the people appreciate that it was correct for us to borrow, and the money did what we borrowed, and in fact it is returning, so that we move in tandem with them in that direction. I feel that that's where there is some small vacuum from a few radio talk shows I have attended. The second point, Your Excellency, which I would like to point out, is that from the conversations with the population, maybe in the radio or even outside, it is very important for us to pay again keen attention to maybe where some of those resources do not appropriately reach the intended beneficiaries, i.e. corruption. It is a very good avenue, Your Excellency, for us to share and expose areas where and how we think corruption should be tackled once and for all, or even if it means making amendments for some laws. From the conversations that we have with the people, Your Excellency, that is an area where we need to go to them with a clear message so that we can move in the same direction.
The corruption we are facing now has got two dimensions. One dimension is the stealing of government money, taking bribes from the public to provide government services, misusing the procurement procedures to cheat the state, and corruptly handling personnel issues, e.g. nepotism, and selling government jobs. Now, this selling of jobs is really becoming very serious in the local governments, maybe in other areas. Now, I'm glad you are all here. Professionally, constitutionally, and logically, it is the following people that are in charge of government money, government procurement, and government personnel administration. Three people are in charge of these three areas: government money, procurement, and personnel. These are the permanent secretary in a ministry, a chief administrative officer in a district, a town clerk in a city or municipality, a Gombora chief in a sub-county, and the clerk of parliament in parliament. In the army, even in the army, you not say that a commander is the one in charge of money and so on, commander. No. In the army, it is the chief of staff who is in charge of administration, money, all those things, logistics, is the one responsible. Not the commander, not the army commander, not the division commander. Commander is you command. Shambulia hapa, attack here. That's your job. You plan for that. It is now the chief of staff and the other people they call staff officers. Staff officers means administrators of the army to do these things, the money, the what, the procurement, the personnel. A sub-county, a managing director in a parastatal. In a parastatal, it is managing director, and the clerk of parliament. In the army, it is the chief of staff, the division administration officer, etc., etc. It is initially not the work of the political leaders to fight corruption. That's what I want the Ugandans to understand. Because really it's not the work of the political leaders to fight corruption. However, ultimately, they are responsible for defending the interests of the people. If the accounting officers do not do their work, they want to guard our government money, to guard, to follow the proper procedures of buying and selling government things, to handle personnel, promotion, recruitment, is the accounting officer. These accounting officers. Even in the district, the district service commission is answerable to the chief administrative officer. He's the one who can say you are doing bad things or you are doing the right things. But if they don't do their work, that's why now the political, because you are elected by the people to stand for us, for the people. So if these professionals don't do their work, you must do your work. You must come in. The other dimension of corruption is employee disloyalty in a private company. Because also, don't just talk of corruption in the government. We must also address corruption in the private sector. So the other dimension of corruption is employee disloyalty in a private company. The employees who steal from their employers are also enemies of the country. If the employers blacklist Uganda as a country where employees steal money from their employers with impunity, Uganda's economy will get stunted. Therefore, it is the work of the police to ensure that those who steal from companies, private or government, are held fully accountable, including paying back the money they stole on top of prison sentences. So this is the corruption. To defend government money, government procedures, and personnel, make sure the personnel are handled professionally in the government agencies, but also especially for the police, to assist the private companies to fight corruption in their units. When we had repaired Sheraton Hotel, 1987, we repaired it. It was called Apollo Hotel because Obote wanted to give it his name, Apollo. But we changed it and called it Sheraton because Sheraton came to manage it. When the Sheraton people came, they instructed strict orders. Then our people, our Ugandans, but abazungu, but we sang solo, but was they were now trying to be nationalistic in theft. Trying to say that the Europeans, because the Europeans have now introduced strict methods. We cite you when you are coming to work. We cite you when you are going. Now they become nationalists. But we sang solo. But was yes, if you are a thief, what do they do? They thought I would support them. I said, go to hell. You are used stealing from government companies. These private people are strict. They should cite you because you are thieves. You don't control yourself. So I remember that incident very well. It was a big issue. And they were complaining to me because they knew I'm a freedom fighter. I defend, they thought I would also defend their theft. But to get to be Biaffe, to Biaffe, that they are stealing their own things. But how will the companies survive if you go on stealing? Going back to the government money, now that the accounting officers have let themselves down. Because the accounting officers, you have not let down anybody, you have let yourselves down. Because this is your mandate. We are coming in directly. This is my person wrote in directly. We are coming in directly, not indirectly. My secretary, please correct that. We are coming in directly. Apart from the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, I'm also setting up both a tax investigation unit and an accountancy and audit unit. This country of yours has got a lot of money. I'm now convinced that you have a lot of money. First of all, there is under collection of taxes. That group of, I hope you called the tax fellow. Museven, did he come? You should call him, let him come. There's a lot of under correction. I'm now getting a lot of information. So there is under collection, but also there is massive stealing of what is collected. Now you can imagine how much more we could do if we plug both. That's what the VP was saying. If we plug both the under collection and the stealing. Apart from the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, the one of Brigadier is okay. I'm also setting up both a tax investigation unit and an accountancy and audit unit. They will be able to investigate all tax evasions, under declarations, money diverted by Parliament, and stolen, etc. Because this money diverted by Parliament, from what I gathered when I moved in, was apparently for two purposes. Some of the diversion was just selfishness. Divert the money to do a Kasumoro road from nowhere to nowhere in my constituency, so that they know that I'm working very hard. Oh yeah, Museven, oh yeah. Some people, that's what they wanted. But in so doing, you undermine, you fragment the money, which could do a bigger job. Like for instance, here, in this area, we need a road from Ruwe across on the other river. We need a road from, tarmac road from Ruwero to Butarangwa, to Ngoma, to our farm in Udiamishenyi, where we sometimes go for retreat, cross Kafu, and go to Masin. That's the road that is needed in that area. So if you divert money, and the MP just does a road from here to 3 kilometers to deceive the local people that you are working, this is sabotage. Let the money be concentrated to do what is the core for that area. But that was one. This was selfishness, indiscipline. But there was, it seems there was also actual theft, where the money is diverted and doesn't do anything. Doesn't even do those small jobs local, just pocketed. So we are following that one up.
And that's what we have done. And I can say, and I'm so thankful to Maif. This financial year, Your Excellency, we have 2 outstanding projects.
Brigadier General Sembo, please. Saying the word is room for improvement. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, retired Major just renewed action in the implementation of the road works in and around Kampala. Number 4, farmer education, cooperation, agricultural mechanization department, among others. Institute, Uganda Heart Institute, the National Medical not mentioned. We continue to receive complaints